Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Anthros Campbell. Changes are taking place in our transport sector to make our roadways safer for all users. Among the changes is that applicants now have to sit a road code test in order to obtain a provisional driver's license. We'll update you on that initiative, specifically on the role of the Tax Administration Jamaica. And it's tax season. We will have some information on that as well. Our guest is Chief Corporate Communications Officer at Tax Administration Jamaica, Meris Haughton. Ms. Haughton, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
So good to have you. So let's start with this new regime as it relates to driver's license, getting a permit to drive.
Provisional.
Provisional driver's license. So it is a collaborative effort between yourself and the ITA.
That is correct.
Yes. Talk to us about the synergies.
Certainly. The synergy is that it really comes under the administration of the Ministry of Transport and Mining,
yes,
and particularly the Island Traffic Authority or the examination depots. What is happening is that with this new change, which took effect on the 25th of January, what will happen now is that persons who are applying for a provisional driver's license, or learners as we commonly call it,
yes,
now first have to visit the Island Traffic Authority, any one of the depots, to hand in their application, as well as to sit a road code test. That's the main change that has taken effect.
Right. So what happens now? So you go and you sit the test and you pass it. You have to pass it, right?
You have to pass
right.
it. Right.
What happens then? So what do they take to you, and what's the process after that?
Okay. The process is that they still complete an application form as they would have in the past. They would have 3 photographs now. Not 2, now 3 photographs. They have to be certified by a justice of the peace or a superintendent of police, as it was before. They hand that in at the Island Traffic Authority examination depot. Then once that is vetted and they are 17 years and older, then they will be eligible to sit that road code test. The road code test is simply a multiple choice test, and that multiple choice test simply tests some basic rules of the road. So it tests that they know road signs, they know road markings, and that persons also know some basic safety features of the roads, just to make it safer.
Right.
Once they have taken that test and they pass that test, then the Island Traffic Authority will do an indication on the actual form itself, application form. They'll also enter into a database that's shared between TAJ, Tax Administration Jamaica, and the ITA, and they will then seal that in an envelope and give it back to the applicant, which they can then take to any one of the tax offices, and we have 28 of them across the island.
And they have to take it sealed.
They have to
if
take
it's open,
it sealed.
what?
They have to take it sealed. There are
Sealed.
protocols in place.
Yes.
It's the sealing. There's a stamp across the seal, so we'll know if it has been open. But the true test of it is that once we get that from the applicant, we do a face vetting. Once we do that face vetting, we also use that system to validate that the information that is on the form actually matches what is in that database that is shared between TAJ and ITA.
So how long does it take now for the applicant to get the
It's
the
very
permit?
simple. It's very simple. Once they come to us, the process is pretty much what they would have experienced before the change, because the main change is the test that they have to do.
Yes.
So once they come to us and we can confirm that they have passed the test, then they will be directed to go to the cashier and make the payments. The payments remains the same, $1,800, and then we will process the provisional driver's license and hand them the card.
Right. We don't have to pay for that test,
The test,
right?
no. The test at this time is offered free.
Right. Are we expecting an increase in the cost from the 1,800? Is it going up?
No. That's not contemplated at this time.
Right. Okay. All right. So this took effect on January 25.
Right.
And you had a lot of traffic before now.
We did.
Right. And you were able to manage everybody.
We had significant numbers coming in, particularly in the last week. But our teams, they worked above and beyond. And what we did, we put mechanisms in place to deal with that rush, and we were able to weather the storm.
Okay, good. And you're seeing less people now, right?
Yes,
Yes.
in terms of since the new system took effect on the 25th, so the first day would have been the Monday, the 27th.
Right.
We actually got the first pass application on Tuesday.
Yes.
That was done at our King Street location. That was
Yes,
processed
yes,
at our King Street location.
Any advice to those listeners
The
of yours?
applicants? Well, the advice that I would say is the test is the very same test that would have had to be done when you do your driver's license.
Yes.
All that has happened is that they have brought that forward to the start of the process, which is when you get your provisional. And this is really just to ensure that persons at least have a basic understanding of the rules of the road before they get behind that wheel to begin learning to drive.
Because the idea is trying to keep the accidents down.
That is correct.
Yes,
that is
yes.
correct.
Okay.
And for those persons who had come in droves
Yes.
just ahead of the change,
Yes.
let me just advise that the provisional driver's license still remains that it is valid for 1 year. At the end of that year, when they go to do the driver's license tests, they'll still have to do that road code test at that point. Or if that provisional driver's license expires before they actually do their driver's tests, they will still again have to do that road code test.
Right.
Everyone must do the road code test. So even if they had it before the change, they will still be required to do the road code test.
Right. But persons who already have their driver's license don't need to think about doing the
No.
test.
If you already have your driver's license, you would have done a road code test as part of the process to get your driver's license test. This is really just for the persons with a provisional driver's license, or the learners as we refer to it. They will have to do a test at some point. So if it's the license has expired, the provisional driver's license has expired, or they misplace it, they lose it and need to get another one, they will have to do the road code test at that point.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. We take a break here, but we'll return with our discussion on the tax season. Do stay with us.
If you've ever wondered what your property taxes are used for, wonder no more. Your property taxes provide revenue for the provision of public and community amenities throughout Jamaica, which are delivered by local government officials. When you pay your property taxes, you aid with the maintenance and expansion of our street lighting to ensure you are not walking in the dark at nights, the collection and disposal of solid waste to prevent the pileup of garbage in communities, the improvement of our community infrastructure, and repairs to fire stations and service vehicles, along with rehabilitation of our roads. Pay your property taxes online, in line, or via mobile tax units and avoid being sought by the government. For more information, visit the Tax Administration website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 876-902-9463.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We continue our discussion with Chief Corporate Communications Officer at Tax Administration Jamaica, Meris Haughton. Now, we're in tax season, right?
Yes.
When do we need to file our taxes and how do we do that? Let's start there.
Certainly.
Yes.
Well, this year, it's actually on March 16. Income tax filing due date is normally on the 15th of
yes,
March.
yes.
But because the 15th falls on Sunday, then it's the next working day. So for this year, it is March 16. And when we say income tax filing, who are the persons who are required to file? So we're talking here about self-employed persons, employed persons who have other sources of income. So we're talking about persons who have a business on the side, for example, or they're doing a little thing on the side. You have your corporate bodies, your companies, other organizations. All these entities are required to file their income tax returns on March 16 this year.
Okay. And you have a new system. Well, people are now you're asking us to file online.
Online. Yes, we're asking persons to file online. So we have a system, it's called our Revenue Administration Information System, that has a suite of e-services, which includes filing income tax returns online. So we're actually asking persons, we have actually mandated that our individuals this year file online.
Why the change?
Why the change? It's easier, we're offering convenience, and it's also better from an administrative perspective. So it's a win-win situation. So the business entities or the individuals, they have the convenience of doing 24/7, doing their tax services online rather than having to come into a tax office.
Yes. Please walk us through the
Certainly,
steps. Yes.
certainly. So when we say persons are to file online, what we ask is that persons log on to our website, which is www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. They need to be registered for online filing. So once they're registered for online filing, and they can register themselves because they can go onto the website and register for e-services, or they can do it through our customer care center, which is 888 Tax Help, which is 829-4357. We also offer what we call e-one-on-ones.
Yes.
So persons can actually contact us, and our taxpayer education officers will be happy to come to your space and actually work with you. Yes, register you and actually help you to file online. So we offer that. Also offer what we call special taxpayer assistance programs, which is where right across the island, what we do is offer, particularly to our small business persons, a session where they can come in and get that support for us to help them to file their returns on time and online.
So we don't have to go out and pay any accountant to help us.
You don't have to. We offer that service, but if you so choose, that's fine too.
So you offer that service
free of cost. It's free of cost, and we will have that schedule available that kicks off around February, the beginning of February, our special taxpayer assistance program.
Yes, yeah.
We also have within our offices where persons can go into. We have 16 locations that we actually have what we call e-filing stations, or there's an e-filing center at our Constant Spring locations where persons can actually go in and use our own machines with support from our staff to file online.
I went on your site earlier and I saw that there are 4 simple steps or 3 to paying online. Can you just
paying online,
Right.
paying online, because there are two components. So there's a filing requirement that's needed, as well as the paying. So once there is a tax liability, that's mean that you owe some taxes, then you would have to make a payment. And you can also make the payment online. And that's a simple process, as you say.
Yes.
You create a login, just as you do if you had a bank account or if you're using any other online services. You'd create your username and your password. That's basically what you would need to do. So you log on, you select which option you want to make a payment for, and you make a payment using your credit card. So it's pretty simple. It's just like any other site that you'd be making a payment on. And the steps are there. We also have on our website what we call a how-to, which guides you step by step, both for the filing as well as for the payment.
Right. Taxes are due on the 16th of March.
On the 16th.
Right. What if I don't get to pay my taxes by the 16th? What other
Well,
options
if you don't get to pay, and we're encouraging persons to pay by the 16th, file and pay. So it's not just the payment, it's also the filing. So that actual return form, the form is actually important that is done on time as well. Because persons who are late in their filing, and 1 day late is still late. So you're late in your filing, you're late in your payment. There are penalties that apply to that. And we don't want anybody to pay more than they are due to pay. So we're encouraging persons to pay and file on time and online.
We need to at least also predict how much taxes.
Yes, so there are 2 things that you're required to file as of March 16, on or before. So there is the report that you do for what we call your annual income tax return, which actually looks at your tax payment due for the year 2019. So that's your past year. You're also required to what we call declare what you expect to earn for 2020. So those 2 returns are due by March 16.
Right.
So it's income tax return for 2019 and your declaration of estimated income for 2020.
And what happens if the estimated income is not what it turns out to be?
Well, your estimate is usually based on the year before, but our system is what we call a self-assessment system. So you're actually assessing what your income is and what you're expected to pay.
Yes.
And let me just add here that for persons who are individuals, so your self-employed persons or your individuals, we're all of us entitled to what we call an income tax threshold. That's a tax-free amount. So if you earn $2 million for the year, for example, for 2019, your income tax threshold was actually 1.5 million. And persons would have heard the term 1.5 million.
Yes, yes.
That 1.5 million is the amount that you get without having to pay any taxes on it. So if you earn $2 million, then you only pay taxes on 500,000 of it, because 1.5 million of it would be tax-free.
Those for self-employed.
Self-employed, as well as our employed persons.
Oh,
So
okay.
for employed persons, you would see that on a monthly
Yes.
basis or a weekly based payment, depending on how you're paid.
Yes,
You
yes.
get it at the time that you're
Yes,
paid.
yes. As we wrap, any advice for
Any
for
advice?
our
The advice that I
taxpayers?
would give to persons: be on time, file online, and if you need assistance, contact our customer care center. Or for persons who need that hands-on assistance, there are our special taxpayer assistance program that's provided free of cost. It's going to be right across the island. We'll have a schedule of when they are, where they are, and we are encouraging persons to take advantage of these free sessions.
Thank you so very much. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Chief Corporate Communications Officer at Tax Administration Jamaica, Meris Haughton. For more information on all tax matters, call the TAJ toll-free at 888-829-4357 or email them at taxhelp@taj.gov.jm. The due date for filing income tax returns this year is March 16. Avoid penalties, save money. Until next time, I'm Anthros Campbell. Do take care.